Did she laugh while she was being murdered?
I don't know.
What's up, pimps?
We're at it again.
We're at it again. Welcome. It is Monday, April 8th. It's a wonderful day outside, and we're here inside talking about murder. What a beautiful day.
Our specialty.
So, today's a fun episode of Cougar Conspiracies, where we're going to be talking about some of the best unsolved murders.
We're the bootleg BuzzFeed Unsolved.
Which, like...
Who's who?
I'm Shane. But, no, I'm actually Hot Dog Man. We've already established
Yeah,
that. So, you know, because there's a lot of conspiracies that come into unsolved murders. Because it can't just be one person did it. It has to be the government did it, aliens did it, or, you know, the entire
population
of New Mexico did it. I'm sorry, New Mexico, you brought it upon yourself.
My God.
But,
that was...
yeah, so, you know, conspiracies and unsolved murders kind of fall into a nice little pie together. Sorry, I'm thinking about that tiramisu that we had yesterday. I can't talk about it.
I had my leftover one this morning for breakfast, and I was like, I'm gonna cry. This is so good. Even a day old.
Yes! Yeah, mine's currently chilling in my fridge. I'm waiting for
Same.
the moment where I know I'm gonna be like, having a mental breakdown, and then I'm gonna eat the tiramisu and I'm gonna feel like a new person. So, I'm waiting for that. Oh, we're joined again by our wonderful guest, Dani.
Hi!
She's back.
She's back.
It's mostly
She's
'cause
back for more.
I love murder, so.
Great. Oh god, it's gonna
Back
be a good
for more.
episode. Like as always, because I forgot to give the disclaimer last time. These are just for fun. Don't come for us, FBI.
Also, we don't want to disrespect the families involved.
Yes, like
This is-
we're gonna talk about some sad stuff.
Yep.
And we're just doing this for the sake of conversation and, you know, researching cases and whatnot. We don't mean any harm to
Yep.
the families of the poor people that have not found their culprits. Because that's some of these things. Like, it's been actual decades.
Yeah.
Like, how does that happen?
Who knows?
I don't know.
Incompetent, you know, cops.
Tea. Dani spilling tea in the first 2 minutes.
Oh God.
That's usually the case. The Zodiac? Anyone talking about the Zodiac today?
One of the culprits to my case might have been involved in the Zodiac.
I know exactly who it is.
Yeah.
Don't spill it.
I'm not gonna spoil anything, but
We
I know
should watch
exactly who did it.
but yeah, the
it.
Zodiac,
Ted Cruz.
who was born like 3 years after the last Zodiac murder.
Sounds like
Oh,
something a
God.
Zodiac killer would do. So.
But like the reason why the Zodiac killer was never caught is because the 3 precincts that were involved just never talked to each other or gave each other evidence, and that's why like they never triangulated.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Like, even with, like, Ted Bundy, like, who, clearly they found him for all of his murders. But it's so strange that, like, you know, he started in, like, Washington, like, that area.
Yeah.
And then, like, went down
He
to,
moved
like,
down.
like,
Florida was
Florida,
his last.
He migrated.
yeah.
Was it Florida?
Florida was his last, yeah.
Yeah. There was someplace,
But
like,
I mean,
Idaho?
it had to have been like.
Or was
It was like there were six states.
It had to be California because
California.
every murder happened in California.
I watched,
Colorado.
Like, episodes of the Ted Bundy tapes. I can't
Yeah.
remember.
Colorado
watched
was
all
one
those
of them.
Oh, Colorado, yeah. And there was, like,
yeah.
the police in those, like, in certain states would be like, yo, we got him. It's here. Let's go. And then the police in, like, the other states would be like, he might have killed the other people in our state, but, like, we're just gonna wait.
Yeah, it was like when he got to Florida and murdered the sorority girls,
Yes.
and the Florida police caught him, and then Washington was like, "Wait, maybe this adds up."
Wait!
Yeah, because
Is
that,
there
yeah.
Cue that one meme of the guy like...
And then there was that other lady at the ski resort or something that he killed. And everybody was, like, all over that. Oh, and the little girl. They were, like, his last victim.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they were like on that case, and then Washington's sitting there like.
She was literally walking. She was at like recess or something at
Yeah,
her
it was
school, and he
messed
like
He's like,
murdered her.
Yep.
Washington State was like, the suspect's name is Ted. And he drives a gold beetle, but I don't think it's him.
I don't know.
Yeah, we're looking for a Ted. If they're like Ted Bundy, they're like, no, that's not
Looks like a
him.
Kennedy.
On.
Can we move on now?
Yes, just sure. Do you want to start, or do you want me to start?
Did you do 1 or 2? Because I did 2.
I did one.
Oh Lord.
I did a long one.
I think we'll save my longer one for last because it's a mess. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I might interject with yours.
Oh,
or
absolutely.
you.
I actually like worked in times where you could interject. As I was typing it, I was like, Dani will probably want to say something here.
You can do that one first if Dani wants to interject because that sounds amazing.
Wonderful.
Go ahead.
So, let's talk about Los Angeles' most notorious unsolved murder. The Black Dahlia.
Love it.
At around 10 a.m. on January 15th. Sorry, I already got it wrong. And I'm trying to put an ASMR on this one.
Oh, Lord.
1947. A woman named Betty was walking with her daughter. As they passed an empty lot, Betty saw something strange laying in the grass. A very dead, very white body. So white, she thought it was a mannequin at first. The body was also cut in half.
Oh, yep.
Bisected.
That's the correct terminology. Bisected. The mannequin-like body would later be identified to be 22-year-old Elizabeth Short. Short's body was found in a strange position and with extreme wounds, yet there was no blood. So the weird thing
Yikes.
about all of that. So she's in the grass, like she had like her elbows up.
Yeah,
She was like laying like this.
posed.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to like be like, this is how she was posed. But
Yeah, something-
basically-
something
Yeah,
like
she's like
that.
chillaxing.
She was like this or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she had
You
like
can look up photos. They're free.
yeah.
Let's not add photos.
No.
Let's not.
I'm not saying we should add them. I'm
Just
saying
saying.
listeners can look them up because
Black
They're
Dahlia body is all you got to look.
There you go. Google it.
Just go on Google.
it's actually
Go
really
incognito
uncomfortable to
mode.
yeah, go in incognito.
But yeah, so then she's like
I mean,
slashed in half.
The picture's in black and white.
She's got weird, happy,
Yeah,
like,
just
smile
like
marks,
her cheeks were all cut up.
which apparently was done while she was still alive,
see.
which is
Yeah.
really messed up. And there
Wait,
was
they,
like,
they did it when she was alive?
yeah, that's
Oh,
what the autopsy revealed.
yikes.
But, and there was like, she had like stuff on like her knees and like
Yeah, there were chunks taken out of her, like the
Ew,
bottom of
what?
her legs, and they were like weird shapes.
What?
um
Oh, there she is.
a bad time. Right, we'll talk more about it.
It's very graphic.
In this
Oh.
little break. Okay, bye. And we're back.
We got distracted.
So we just begun talking about the Black Dahlia.
A whole mess.
A whole mess, actually. And
Was she
yeah,
alive when she got cut in half? I don't
I
know.
really hope not. But yeah, Sierra also brought up a good point about the blood and how like so there was no blood on the scene because her body had been like drained and scrubbed, which I never have heard that term used in like a murder sense. Like
That's just
scrubbed, and I hate that.
scrubbed.
I have to think though that the killer was really just like, oh man, I'm gonna make this such a spectacle.
Yeah, such a thing, he said. He's like, you know what Los Angeles needs? A thing. And he did it.
Wait, when did this take place in the, what,
40s?
1940s? Yeah, we need a thing.
Yeah, they needed a thing.
Is there a thing?
World War II wasn't enough. They were like, we need a thing. You know, industrialization was enough. We need
More things. We need murder. We need a big thing.
a big thing. But,
I need to kill a man.
yeah, so, well,
A woman.
Well,
a woman.
Maybe multiple women.
I mean,
oh.
yeah, we're gonna talk about that. So, the rules
I love this case, guys.
were so strange and clean that it was theorized that someone with surgical knowledge had to have done it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it wasn't even a theory. Like, no random Joe off the street in
Yeah.
1947 was like, I know exactly where to cut the spine to cleanly bisect a body. No.
Yeah, they didn't have Google back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, you could now Google how to bisect a body. You'd probably figure it out.
I don't think you should do
You
that.
probably shouldn't. You'll be put on a list somewhere. But
Unless you're incognito.
in incognito mode.
Let's hope they
Thanks,
don't use
Google, for
WikiHow.
sponsoring this podcast with incognito mode. God, I wish.
There's a specific vertebrae that you have to cut. Sorry.
Why do you know this?
She looked it up on Google. Incognito.
WikiHow.
Guys, I know like a random stuff about this case because I knew a lot about it like at the beginning of the semester. Like I did a weird amount of research.
Stan. So her case would become known as the Black Dahlia, partly due to her black hair and reports of her usually wearing black clothes. So they couldn't just call her, short. They had to say, yes, the Black Dahlia. And the case became huge in capital letters. Brian Carr, a detective with the LAPD who worked on the Dahlia case, said that it was front page news for about 2 months. And people theorize that the case became so popular with the help from her killer. Because he sent a lot of weird stuff to the police. But also, that's just a very, front page news for 2 months. Do you know what you would have to do that now? Like, Trump would have to set the entire world on fire.
He still wouldn't get front page news.
No.
You might get it for a day.
Yeah. And then it'll be like, shooting in Seattle.
Oh my god. But that's actually, so real.
That hurt.
I get, the 40s were different and maybe they didn't have, so much going on all
They
the
had atomic bombs.
Yeah,
They were bombing Japan.
The World War, whatever.
We didn't have those iPhones.
Okay, this was
Polio.
after World War II. And again, they didn't have a thing. This was their thing.
Exactly. This man said Los Angeles needs a thing, and
They're
I'm willing to make it.
This lady was so beautiful. Even with her scarred face, she was beautiful. They
Yeah.
actually said that shit. Sorry.
And Tony just shuts down.
Not in the Lord's house.
So,
Not in this Christian server.
not in this Christian Minecraft server.
Yeah.
9 days after her body was found, an envelope was received by the offices of the Los Angeles Examiner. The envelope contained Short's social security card, her birth certificate, photos, and an address book missing a few pages. As time went on, the police would receive 13 more letters from
Was she carrying that around?
Wait, don't y'all carry your
Birth certificate? I mean, I get social security card. Why your birth certificate?
Unless he had access to her house.
Ooh.
But wait, wasn't she visiting her sister? She was in a hotel.
Oh, we'll get into that.
Ooh.
Because, yeah. The story I've heard is something different. She was, living in
Oh,
LA.
I thought she was in a hotel.
But
I
I
don't
don't know
know.
where she was living.
She's
but
from Boston.
yeah.
I think her father lived in Los Angeles, but they didn't talk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
She was one of 5 siblings.
Yeah.
Guys,
This is just a random information.
We'll get more into her backstory. But the investigation was lengthy and in-depth, to say the least. Several false reports came in, and so did several false murder confessions.
Yeah,
Which is... I want to say, that's weird, but then I'm like, wait, people did the exact same thing with John Benet Ramsey?
Mhm.
So,
Oh, yeah.
I can't really, be that weird.
Didn't that happen recently? Some guy was like, I killed the girl. It was
Oh, yeah.
some pedo in jail or something. He's like, I killed her.
I killed John Benet Ramsey, and everyone's like, no, you didn't.
And everyone was like, stop it. Go back to bed. The police questioned about 75 men that Short had come into contact with, and they also contacted about 300 USC medical students, to no avail.
they're like, you have medical knowledge.
They're like,
Do this?
Did you cut up a lady? And they were all like, nah. So 400 people later, and they don't have
anything.
the culprit. So, the sole witness of the murder had reported seeing a black sedan parked in the area of the park where she was dropped off in the early morning hours, but they could provide very little else to the police. So it was one little piece
Black sedan.
of a
Giant
witness
puzzle.
account, and that's about it. Eventually the case went cold, and while there are several suspects, one sticks out the most.
The one with medical knowledge.
And he's so weird and I hate him.
He's disgusting.
Like, I read about, like, just, you know, I didn't even get, like, into the, like, the worst nitty-gritty things of what he did, but, like, I think he did it.
I think he did it too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
George Hodel.
George Hodel, baby! Not to be confused with his son,
Steve Hodel.
Steve Hodel.
The author who wrote the book saying his dad.
Can you imagine? Yeah, can you imagine?
The amount of daddy issues it would take? Kind of.
But like,
My dad killed a woman.
you're just chilling, and then you're like, yeah, my dad killed the Black Dahlia.
Wow.
Well, I mean, I don't blame him because, like, growing up in that house with
Yeah.
what he did.
Yeah, which we'll get into shortly after a little break, but not right now. I have to drag this break out for a couple more minutes. Couple more seconds.
What?
We have like 13 more seconds, so I'm just gonna
Creepy man.
say some stuff. Yeah, George Hodel really sucks.
He's terrible.
He's not a good dude.
Even if he didn't, like, murder.
The Black Dahlia was last seen at the Millennium Biltmore Hotel.
Oh!
Chris Pratt is the worst Chris.
Yes.
What? He is!
He is. He's part of that weird, like, celebrity church.
Yeah, that hates gay people. Yep.
Yeah,
He's in a cult, guys.
Ooh.
he is.
Anyway,
Wait,
we're back.
Scientology?
What?
It's not Scientology.
Oh.
No. If it was Scientology, I could, like, understand
Chris
it.
Pratt has been canceled since Infinity War, so it's fine.
So, we're back. We're talking about the Black Dahlia. Yeah, you know.
George Hodel.
George Hodel!
Why are we yelling?
Cause, but,
He's
yeah.
a squirrely looking man. If you like it,
He's, like, well, if we
What does he
can
look
find a
like?
picture, we'll insert one here.
I'll show you.
Oh,
He's,
God.
he's exactly what you would expect him to look like. Like every classic movie villain from, like, the 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's scary.
A Bond villain.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. So, like I said, this case had a lot of suspects. You know, nobody with real, what's the word? Like, nobody who really stood out a lot, because they interviewed so many people for this.
Oh.
One, to me, sticks out the most. So, in early 2013, an article in the San Bernardino Sun detailed a recent investigation of the Black Dahlia, conducted by retired police sergeant Paul Dostie, author Steve Hodel, and a police dog named Buster,
What a good boy.
The best
who
boy.
could smell decomposing flesh.
A good boy.
A good boy who
He's
went,
our new
who went
mascot.
through many years of dog school to sniff dead people.
Oh my god.
We love you, Buster.
We love him.
According to the Sun, the Sun, S-U-N, the San Bernardino Sun, the team uncovered incriminating evidence against Dr. George Hill Hodel. In February 2013, the team conducted an extensive search of the doctor's home, where Buster smelled human decomposition in the basement.
Ew.
Yeah, sounds right.
Following their search, soil samples from Hodel's home were sent for lab testing, and I couldn't find if they found anything from that, so I don't know if they did.
Okay, everyone needs to, like, look at what his house looks like, though, because it is, like, the
I mean, he
strange.
looks like a murderer.
Yeah, he does.
Wait, let me see it.
Also, Hodel house. It's like a mansion. Okay, yeah, here you go.
Wait, I got it.
It's
What?
literally like,
Yeah, that's insane.
and it's huge inside. Like,
That's weird.
It's very weird. In one conversation between George Hodel and an unknown person, Hodel says, "Now, please excuse my accent, because it is the 50s.
Oh my god, you're
In
not good
America.
at talking to 50s accent.
Supposing I did kill the Black Dahlia, they couldn't prove it now. They can't talk to my secretary because she's dead."
Were
He said
you?
that.
Were you from the 50s or are you from the country? What's
Both.
up?
I lost the accent halfway through. But anyway, Hodel was suspected to have murdered his secretary in 1945,
Yikes.
Ruth Spaulding, to cover up his financial fraud. I mean, come on, you really gotta kill your secretary because you were doing fraud?
doing fraud.
Doing
Doing
fraud.
fraud.
In 1949, Hodel's teenage daughter accused him of incestuous sexual abuse,
Ew.
and he was acquitted because the trial became like a very publicized event.
Ew.
Uh,
Ew. Ew.
Yeah. So
More
that
Hodel.
so that sucked. Oh, yeah.
Tamar.
Tamar, yeah.
Yeah.
After that case... Oh, sorry. No, you can go.
Half-sister to Steve, because he got around. Are you gonna talk
Nasty
about
guy.
Fauna?
No.
Okay.
No.
So, the reason why it's very iffy about this acquittal and the fact that he was accused by his daughter of, rape and such, is that about 15 years later, Tamar's daughter showed up, and she was put up for adoption. And on her birth certificate, it says that her father was black. Her father was not black, but she was adopted to a black family. She has no idea who her father was, because she was never told. Her father might be her grandfather.
Ew. Ew.
Where's the holy water?
He
We need a gallon of holy water.
Yeah.
we do.
Oh.
She's very
We need to
interesting.
cleanse
She
the
was
studio.
raised by a black family, and she thought that she was black her whole life until
Oh,
a certain
poor girl.
point. And then she found out about her grandfather and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Oh,
That's
sweetheart.
crazy.
She has a memoir, and I don't think she believes personally that her grandfather is her father, but there is that possibility.
Yeah.
That's
I hate that.
So after the case with Tamar, Hodel was a suspect in the Black Dahlia case. Hodel's daughter had actually claimed that he was the killer, and his medical degree raised suspicion. And he apparently had a short relationship with Elizabeth Short in 1946. The weirdest part about all of this is that apparently in 1950, he was the prime suspect. And this
I
is
believe it.
3 years following the case.
Oh, yeah.
His private Hollywood residence, that creepy building, was bugged in 1950, which led to some troubling confessions. Air
Yikes.
quote, confessions. He's performed illegal abortions, paid off law enforcement, and was possibly involved in the deaths of his secretary and Short. And the rest of his quotation, which I'll try again to
Please don't.
imitate.
Please don't.
They thought there was something fishy. Anyway, now they may have figured it out. Killed her. Maybe I did kill my secretary. Who says that?
What normal
An innocent
human?
man, obviously.
A man who did nothing wrong.
Maybe I killed her, maybe I didn't.
Maybe I killed her.
Maybe.
I did kill my secretary.
Who did?
Didn't he flee the country because
Yes,
of charges?
he was in the Philippines.
Yeah.
Where his son was like, yeah, I think he started a new family, and
Yeah.
then
Bye.
he but then his son thought, Steve Hodel was like, but I think he came back to the United States to kill more people.
Yeah.
In the 60s or something.
Yeah,
But
because
yeah.
Zodiac Killer. Steve Hodel thinks that his father was also the Zodiac Killer.
What?
It's a little iffier.
Yeah.
I think because
Does the timeline match up? What's happening?
it might. He
Probably
wrote a
better than the Ted Cruz timeline.
He wrote a whole book about it, so
Yeah.
there's gotta be something there.
Yeah.
That's true.
And I'm pretty sure George Hodel was around in the '60s because Fauna met him when she found out.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
So, to wrap up the Black Dahlia, Elizabeth Short, may she rest in peace. She was born in Medford, Massachusetts on July 29th, 1924. She moved to Los Angeles in hopes of becoming an actress. And she supported herself by working as a waitress and a cashier while taking minor acting roles. So,
We love a queen.
that sucks.
And now she's famous forever.
For the wrong
Do you
reason.
ever think
For
about
being
the irony?
bisected.
For the
Yeah,
wrong reason.
the irony. is
Yeah,
incredible.
that's sad. Well,
She's a queen.
we'll come back in a
Next
little
case.
bit to talk about some more crazy stuff.
Bye.
Bye.
What's your murder?
Sorry, we're back. I'm so sorry.
We're all delusional.
Sometimes you're like, oh, it's time to go, and then it's not time to go, and then you don't know how the board works. I don't know. Anyway,
Alright.
we just talked about the Black Dahlia.
May she rest in peace.
May she rest in peace. George Hodel. I know you're dead, but
You can.
He should have died a lot earlier. He died
I
at 90.
The
I want to
90s.
say something.
99.
So we can't.
We'll
A
get
disgusting
soon.
man.
Yeah.
I want to say so many more things.
Pop off. sister.
Alright. Who wants to. I have two, but this one probably no one knows about. Do you want to hear about the Icebox Murders or about Madeleine MaCann? We should do Madeleine MaCann for last, because that's a doozy.
Because, yeah, I will start yelling.
Did you watch the thing on Netflix?
I did not, but...
I did not either.
I've watched several other series about Madeleine MaCann, and I have some thoughts, but I'll save them.
We'll do that after this one.
Okay.
So, this is called the Icebox Murders. This happened on June 23rd, 1965. This happened in Houston, Texas.
The 60s, man.
Filled with serial killers.
Literally.
Yeah.
Really? So, some patrolmen made a visit to the house of an elderly couple, Fred and Edwina Rogers. Fred was 81 and Edwina was 72. They found the house empty and they thought, oh, okay, there's probably nothing going on. They're probably out for a nice day. And then...
You're wrong.
And then one of the patrolmen checked the refrigerator, and Charles Bullock, who was one of the policemen present, he recalled the scene, quote, opened up a refrigerator and seen nothing but meat stacked in it. My partner standing next to me made the comment that it looked like somebody had butchered a hog. We didn't know it was a body until we got ready to close the refrigerator, and we could see the head down in the bottom in the vegetable bin.
Oh! In the vegetable bin, no! Wait, someone had to clean out that fridge to put that body in there.
Well, it doesn't say if it was empty or there was
Rid of
food
the chicken nuggets.
He wasted good chicken nuggets.
I feel like they would have had to, like, remove
He didn't
them.
have enough money for chicken nuggets.
Okay.
I could go on. Anyway, then police investigated the scene and discovered that Fred and Edwina were killed a week before their remains were placed in the refrigerator. So they were already dead. And then a week later, the guy who was like, let's just put them in the fridge.
Wait, so they were killed, left there, and then the guy came back and was like, man, I know that they've been decomposing for a week. However, I would just put them in the fridge. And, you know, maybe they'll still be fresh. Even though they've been
Are you assuming he was a cannibal? What's happening?
Why else would you put them in the fridge?
I'm assuming he's a cannibal, or is he just weird?
Bury the bodies.
Now, like, not being a cannibal isn't weird because it isn't weird.
Let me go off it. Wasn't Ed Gein? Didn't he put stuff in refrigerators too? Because he took a lot of
Ed
weird.
Gein, he must have, because I mean,
No.
he put body parts everywhere. There were
Yeah.
lampshades.
Clothes.
You run out of room after a while, I guess. I don't know.
Anyway. And it turns out Edwina had been brutally beaten and then shot, and Fred had his head crushed, and then.
Oh.
But it doesn't say where Edwina's insides and organs went, but Fred's were later flushed down the toilet.
That's
Yeah.
why you flog the.
Sir, you have single-handedly ruined the septic system, and you should feel bad.
Like, just imagine like your toilet's clogged and you get the plunger and you see like a freaking like
Could you
intestine.
imagine being the guy in the sewer that day? He's just like sweeping, you know, poop off the walls, and then just a bunch of body parts falling
He's
out.
like, oh my god!
He's like, oh,
Alright.
not again.
Not again!
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you work in the sewer, and
You probably see a lot of nasty stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
it
sewer
wasn't
rats,
like Killer
but
Croc.
Anyway.
I mean, sewer rats are gross, but I mean, have you seen organs in the sewers? Probably not. Anyways, so the killer was never found, obviously, but the prime suspect was and still is their son Charles, who was 43 years old at the time.
Oh.
But then he disappeared without a trace.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
However, I think their neighbors, Hugh and Martha, I have no idea how to say their last name, like Gardenier? I don't know.
Yeah, Gardenier.
Yeah, Gardenier. They think they may have cracked the case wide open.
Oh.
And according to them, Charles was physically and emotionally abused from a young age. His parents lived in the house that was owned by him, and they constantly took out loans in his name.
What?
And supposedly he killed them after being tired of being abused. So,
Oh my god.
yeah.
And then
That
he
seems
like
a little-
ran off, changed his name, was like, yeah, man.
But he
He's in the
refrigerated his
Yeah,
food.
like I can understand like just killing them straight
Yeah.
up and then being like, ha ha,
Deuces.
vengeance, I'm out. But then to like cut them up and put them in the freezer or flush them down the
after a
toilet.
week.
After
After a week, yeah.
That's
It's like, I'm still pissed off about it.
yeah, he's like, I didn't do enough the first time.
He must have been like stewing over it, like in his brain.
He's
He
like,
was
what am I doing? I don't know what to do.
I did murder them, But like now their bodies are just like there for anyone to see. I'm gonna go back and like do something about
Or
that.
if it was a way to like get rid of evidence, he's like, oh god, I don't know what to do. Put him in the fridge. I don't know.
It's like,
He takes his organs. He takes his organs. Get rid of the evidence.
to
I'm
clean your room.
suspicious of their neighbors though, because clearly if they didn't notice they were gone after a week,
Right.
Yeah.
like, and now they're like, well, we've cracked the whole case. It's like,
They
did
did.
you though?
What is this? But then apparently Charles was believed to have fled to Mexico and made his way down to South America, where he continues working as a geophysicist.
Good for him.
Wait, can we talk about how
Probably
the
killed my parents, but now I'm sorry, makes sense.
neighbors are very suspicious
Oh, my
because
bracelet fell off.
If-
Alright.
if they noticed that these people were
My
being
chain
abusive
broke.
towards their son and they did nothing for
Yeah,
40
they sh-
years.
They should have called
Exactly.
somebody.
Called the Child Protective Services.
Yeah, I think it was the neighbors.
My bracelet
believe
broke.
it.
I'm angry.
And then like the
And they tried to get the heat off of them by blaming somebody else.
yeah, and the son went missing.
And they're just like,
so the
run
son
away to
probably
Mexico,
said-
go.
Oh, it was all an inside job?
Maybe they,
What?
I don't know.
Cue X-Files theme song.
Maybe they all hated them.
Let's
When
try
did
not
the
They
to...
son-
sounded like awful people.
When did the son go missing? Do you know? Like immediately?
It doesn't say. It just doesn't say when he like. Well, he didn't go missing. He just like fled the country.
Okay.
So I don't know when it happened, but
That's a
Is there
conspiracy
proof
all
that
in
he
itself.
Fled the country because like
I have no idea.
he could have been killed,
Yeah.
and they could have just said, "Oh, he fled the country because he did it."
I don't know how to spell ice.
Now
I'm
he's a geophysicist.
yeah, like what?
How do they know that?
Why don't you become like a surgeon? You cut your parents up and put them
Yeah, if you're fleeing, why would there be more evidence
Oh
like
my
near
God.
here
Wait.
with your
looked
job?
I looked up the Icebox Murders on Google, and there's like a synopsis of a book. Literally, the first sentence is, Fred and Edwina Rogers of Houston received a surprise. They were murdered.
Love that.
That is A+ true crime writing right there.
And
Yeah.
we'll be back after this little break. Goodbye.
Anyway,
That was a lot.
I tried to see if I could find any more. Oh yeah, we're talking about the Icebox Murders. A guy murdered his parents, and he put their body parts in a fridge.
Or did he murder his parents?
Or was he murdered himself?
Well, all I could find was that his whereabouts remain unknown, and he was declared legally dead in '75 by a Houston judge.
Huh.
That's all I could find.
He
So
might have been murdered.
Maybe.
Did I just start my own conspiracy theory?
yes,
Case?
yeah, you did.
Guys.
Good job.
Anyway,
I'm
time
proud of you.
for the doozy. Let's go.
Oh, I'm ready to throw hands, baby.
Let's
Yes.
go. All right. So, I mean, it's on Netflix. You can watch the disappearance of Madeleine MaCann.
Mm-hmm.
I've only watched a few videos about her, but I found this on like Cosmopolitan. I don't know why it's on Cosmopolitan, like a whole timeline of her disappearance and everything afterwards.
Y'all remember when she first went missing?
I was 6 when she went missing.
Yeah, I remember being so
She
young.
went missing the day before my birthday, and
I
all
was-
the investigations happened when I turned
10
7.
years old.
I was 6.
You were too young.
I don't know how old I was.
It was
when
2007.
Yeah.
Oh, I was also 10 then.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I remember being like,
Yeah, I'm older
because
than you.
like I,
You're a Pisces, I'm an Aquarius. Done.
but that was so weird because like when I originally heard about that case, I was just like, oh, girl abducted from hotel room, and I was like, yikes. But then like hearing about it more, I'm like, the situation is so messed up.
It really
wait,
is.
talk about it because I don't actually know the details.
Yeah.
I genuinely
Okay.
only know like
It'll,
You know,
it'll
abducted
shock
from
you.
hotel room. And I think that she was like cited a few years ago, but that's it.
She was what?
I thought she was cited a few years ago. Like people were like, oh, she's like, we saw a photo of her. No? Am I?
I haven't heard any
I don't
developments
know.
about it.
I don't know.
Maybe someone
Anyways.
thought they saw her.
That happens a lot
You
in
know.
this case.
Also, I find it kind of scary that I turned 7 when like all the investigations happened.
Because wasn't she also like 6 or something?
She was 3.
3? Oh, I thought she was older.
So how old would she be now?
Probably like 12, 13, maybe around this. Preteen.
She was born in 2003.
She's 3 years younger
Oh.
than you. How old are you?
So did she
18.
be 16?
Maybe like 15, 16 maybe.
Yeah.
Just maybe around those ages, I don't know. Anyways.
That's scary.
So probably very difficult to identify now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Anyway.
she's gone forever.
Let's move on. Anyway, her disappearance is described as one of the most heavily reported missing persons cases in modern history, and it still remains as an unfathomable mystery almost 12 years later. And the 3-year-old vanished from her holiday apartment in Portugal. How do you pronounce the hotel? Praia de Luz? I have no idea.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I'm not Portuguese. I'm sorry.
And where is it?
Right here. Praia de Luz.
Yeah, that looks
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, she went missing there in Portugal on May 3rd, 2007, while her parents, Kate and Jerry McCann, were dining with their friends nearby. First of all, why would you leave your 3-year-old child
It was different.
in a hotel room
in the
by
2000s.
herself?
But
In 2000,
2007 was
so-
not that long ago.
it was Madeline's parents. It was another
It was another family,
parents,
yeah.
and then the other parents' twins were also in the room with Madeline.
Yeah, weren't they
And
like
they were
weren't they
fine.
like
They were fine.
weren't they like 2 years old
What?
or something?
I think they might have been slightly older than
I
Madeline.
thought they
Could
were younger.
Speak?
or older.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember,
I thought they were younger.
but I can't remember.
But why
Did
would
they
you
say
leave your
something?
small
Well,
children?
their thought process, which
We're just gonna go back and check on our kids every 10 minutes.
that's exactly it. They were like, okay, so where their hotel was, it was like here, and they were on the ground floor.
Yeah.
And then there was like a courtyard or some sort of open area
Yeah.
over there, and then there was the bar on the other end. But where they were sitting at the bar, every night, because they went like every night, they couldn't see the hotel room from their seat. Usually you would be able to if they got a seat like by wherever if they got like on the right angle or something, but they didn't. So they were like, oh, we'll just take shifts checking on the kids every 10 minutes. And that
Parenting
worked.
101.
That worked for like the first 2 nights or something that they were there.
Did they lock the hotel
No.
door?
No.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they left the door unlocked.
Parenting
So that
101.
because they thought, oh, it'll be easier for
That's
when we go in and
fine.
check so that we don't wake up the
No,
kids.
That's stupid. They're toddlers.
3 years old? I'm
Yeah.
gonna leave my 3-year-old by themselves in a hotel room with other
But,
small
yeah,
children.
they're so
that is
protect
so
them. Are
bad.
you kidding me?
it's
Can't protect your children.
It's really messed up.
Anyways, let's
Yeah.
start the time.
Okay, let's go.
All right. Around 8:30 p.m., Kate and Jerry go to dinner with friends at a tapas restaurant 55 meters away from the apartment. Around 9 p.m., Jerry checks on the children, Madeline and her 2 siblings, and goes back to the restaurant. At 10 p.m., Kate goes to check the apartment and discovers that Madeline was missing. Jane Tanner, a friend of the McCanns, reported seeing a man carrying a child earlier that night.
Which?
Was probably Madeline.
No. Oh, I thought you were gonna debunk it. That got quickly debunked.
Well, it's not in what I wrote, but I saw that he was carrying a girl wearing like pink and white pajamas, and that was the same pajamas that Madeline was wearing.
But
And she's like, you know what?
let me tell y'all something. Because
Alright.
I hate the McCanns, the parents, because
Ooh.
they're idiots. And,
Yeah.
And I don't want to watch the Netflix documentary because I'm afraid that they won't. Like, I don't want to blame the parents, but they really did some things that they
She
should
was
have done.
sketchy.
They were super sketchy. And I understand, like, the Portugal government, they rely a lot on tourism. This was the thing that really hurt them, and they, like, didn't really want to talk about it. There's a lot of stuff going on with the Portugal government, too.
Yeah.
So the wonderful hotel that the McCanns decided to stay at had a nighttime daycare service for children staying at the hotel
Are you
Oh,
kidding?
yeah.
that the McCanns could have used.
But
to
they're
put their
like,
kids in.
no!
But they were like, no.
Let's leave my toddler in the
Well, was it
hotel
more
room.
expensive? I can kind of see that. Like, if
They
you're...
were already paying so much to come to Portugal.
Okay.
Like, you wouldn't spend the extra
like,
$20
nah.
a night to have your kid sit in a safe place for 3 hours? I don't know. Whatever. I'm not a parent. Don't come
How
for me.
late was it? I mean, I get that she was 3.
Like
but
10,
also-
maybe? Like 9 to 10.
Okay,
something.
yeah, they could have been, like, sleeping in a
Eh.
like, daycare.
But, so the
know.
thing with that, the guy carrying the kid, that was his own kid that he was picking up
Oh,
from
it
the
was?
nighttime service.
It was?
Yes.
Oh.
It was his own kid that he was, because he was holding the kid, like, and the kid was, like, sleeping.
Yeah.
And he just picked her up from the daycare thing that the McCanns didn't use.
Yikes.
So,
Parenting.
I don't come for me. I'm not a parent. I don't
Neither
know
am
how you live your life. Sorry.
Don't leave your 3-year-old by themselves.
Probably shouldn't.
You
but-
probably shouldn't do that. Put them in daycare.
Yeah, so that part of the case made me really mad because the
Alright.
mother, Mrs. McCann, was like, "That was our kid." It's like, no, it really wasn't, but okay.
Anyway, so then this is
You didn't put him in the daycare.
Could have put them in daycare.
This is in British time, so I don't know how to at 22:10, Jerry sends Matthew Oldfield, another friend of theirs, to ask the resort's reception desk to call the police.
10.
And then almost an hour later, the resort activated its missing child protocol.
And we will talk more about that.
Don't leave your kids alone.
Don't leave your kids alone.
If they're 3.
We'll come back to this right after the break. Okay, bye. And
Don't shop.
We're back, and
We just heard some scarring things.
Netflix is messing us up.
With all
Okay.
their true crime documentaries.
Yeah, they really just going at him. That's what they're doing.
Sierra's
bad.
face got so red.
Oh
Go
no,
on to
I'm so
Definitely
angry.
Site on Netflix if you want to know
Her face is getting red again.
why we're wildin'.
I'm so angry
I
about
can
it.
see her cheeks getting redder and redder.
We're wildin'.
She's so angry.
Yeah, she's about to fight.
Oh, it's just so. It makes me so angry.
Throw hands.
Beat me up, sis.
Alright, so
Anyways. Oh my god.
popped off
Madeleine
enough
MaCann.
about
Madeleine MaCann.
Yeah, popped
Alright. Her parents were stupid and left her in their hotel room. And
But the 2 twins that are also in that
yeah,
hotel
like the
fine.
babies were okay. Were they babies or older? I have no idea, honestly.
I don't
Just
really
gonna-
know.
I don't know.
I'll
Anyways, so just to continue where I left off. Jerry McCann's friend Matthew Oldfield went to ask the resort's reception desk to call the police, and then like 20 minutes later, the resort activated a missing child protocol.
Yeah.
On May 4th, 2007, on my 7th birthday, which is terrifying, the police arrived after 1 a.m. and sniffer dogs are brought in. Police and volunteers searched the village, beach, and resort, and Spanish and border police and airports are notified. So, I guess they couldn't, leave the
Yeah.
country.
Yeah, because they were afraid that because I don't know if I should pop off right now.
Pop off.
Okay, so Portugal has had a bad stint, or a history, I guess I should say, of human trafficking. So the first 2 hours that a person or a child goes missing is essential in human trafficking cases.
Yeah.
Because with Portugal's proximity to other countries, it's right off the coast of Spain, but you can get from Spain to the entirety of Europe
Yeah.
very easily.
France, Switzerland, Italy, Germany,
Yeah.
Poland.
And then if you want to go
Geography.
you could take
Geography.
you could take a plane and then go right over to Latin America, and it's a very Portugal's right by the water. Take a boat, take whatever. So it's a big place for human trafficking. So
Also, Spain is right by North Africa.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That's scary.
So that was I don't know if that was their first suspicion of what happened with Madeleine.
I think that's a suspicion now because my dad watched the documentary and he said he thinks that she might have been sex trafficked or something.
Yeah. Which is nuts, but
3.
so that's why so they closed all the borders because they were well,
Nope.
if she gets across the border, then it doesn't become Portugal's problem anymore. It
Can't
becomes
leave.
everybody else's problem, which is a big thing.
All
And
right.
expensive when other countries get involved.
All right. So
Yeah.
10 days later, on May 14th, 2007, British-Portuguese property consultant Robert Murat becomes the first suspect. He lived with his mother in a villa 150 yards from the McCann's holiday apartment 5A. And a Sunday Mirror journalist tells Portuguese police that he appeared shifty and was asking reporters lots of questions about the case.
Mhm.
Police assigned him up as an official interpreter as he said that he wanted to help with their inquiry. Police search his home and he denies any involvement in Madeleine's disappearance. I mean, and then on the 26th, this is the thing about the guy carrying the girl in the pajamas.
Mhm.
And also, for some reason, on May 30th, the McCanns visited the Pope after receiving a formal invitation from the Vatican.
That's the thing. They're so fame hungry.
Here's what's stupid. They leave their 2-year-old twins, Sean and Emil, in Portugal. Why would you leave your 2-year-olds in Portugal?
Are they Catholic? They're
I don't-
British. So why are they going to see the Pope?
I have
Not
no
to be
idea.
You.
I mean,
if
they
you're
got
not
an
Catholic,
invitation from the Pope. I
But
don't know.
they're probably Anglican. They're probably British Protestant.
I don't know.
Not to stereotype them, but most British people
But
are
also,
Protestant.
shouldn't you be looking for your daughter and not
Exactly.
hanging out with the Pope?
That's true.
Exactly.
Again, I'm not a parent.
Guys, the things that I get focused on, I'm just they're Protestant. Why are in Rome.
It's fair.
Also, so then on June 3rd, this is dumb, J.K. Rowling offers support to the McCann family!
I remember that. That was before she was ridiculous.
Oh, J.K. Rowling.
She tried.
Alright. Then in August 2007, Portuguese police abandoned abduction theory and then they soon launched a murder investigation. So then on September 7th, 2007, Kate and Jerry McCann are made suspects in Madeleine's disappearance during questioning. And then on September 9th, despite their suspect status, the McCanns are allowed to return back to the UK and they fly back to Britain with the twins. And then Jerry tells the media, quote, "We want the twins as much as is reasonably possible to live an ordinary life in their home country and want to consider the events of the last few days which have been so deeply disturbing. Despite there being so much we wish to say, we are unable to do so, except to say this, we played no part in the disappearance of our lovely daughter, Madeleine."
I Those poor kids.
And then it goes off from September. There's so much.
Yeah.
It goes off. I don't even know if this is, well, let's see. So then on September 21st, the head of Portuguese Police Federation, Carlos Anjos, I don't know how to say his name.
Yeah, who's a sketchy guy.
He accuses Kate and Jerry of hindering the investigation into Madeleine's disappearance. And he says, quote, "They are," this is the Portuguese word for suspects. I don't know how to say it.
Well, we get what you mean.
They're suspect, a status which allows them to remain silent, and they have already said that they will make no more statements. The McCann spokesman, Clarence Mitchell, dismisses claims that the McCanns are using their right to silence to withhold cooperation with the police. We don't like them.
I don't
like
and
them.
And, I feel bad because I'm sure, well, a part of me feels bad because, I think they did it, or they at least had some part of it, but I don't know. I get, if your kid actually did go missing and you didn't have a part of it, that it's, devastating.
Well, yeah. But then on March 19th, 2008, they accept a £550,000 libel damage and front-page apologies from Express newspapers over allegations that they were responsible.
Yep.
So
they're just money hungry.
Yeah,
they're insane.
Danny's about to go off.
Well, we only have 40 seconds, so.
Let me go to the most recent thingies.
Yeah.
It's just about the documentary.
Yeah.
But then on April 25th, 2017, it's been 10 years. It's been almost 10 years to the day she went missing. What else is there? And then in March 2019, Kate and Jerry say that the Netflix documentary could potentially hinder the search for her. And then on March 15th,
She's gone.
And then on March 15th, the documentary is released. There's a lot.
If you thought it was going to hinder, then why did you sign up to do it?
Who knows?
I don't get them.
There's a lot that goes with this. There's
Are
so
the
much.
twins in the documentary? Because I'm very interested in their story.
Oh.
We're running out of time.
I don't know.
Thank you all so much for
Anyway,
listening.
Madeleine, if you're out there, child.
Talk to us. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you guys next week. Have a great bye.